Hey guys, it's Marley and today is April 2nd, which means it is the release date of The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I went out to buy this right away, obviously, and today I'm going to be starting a spoiler-filled reading vlog for this book. So only watch this if you have read it or you want to see spoilers. I just find filming these videos is more fun when I can include spoilers, so that's what I think I'm gonna do. Obviously, Holly Jackson is the author of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and her other standalone 5 Survive, which is another YA thriller that I really love. This is another young adult thriller from her and I'm so excited. I have yet to rate any of her books less than 5 stars, so I'm really excited again to read this book. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, can you tell it is pouring rain outside? Actually, my glasses literally have raindrops on them. Oops. Just got home from work. I was reading a bunch on the subway on my commute, so I'm finally able to check in about The Reappearance of Rachel Price. I'm on page 72 and we just reached the point of Rachel reappearing. I felt like they were really dragging that out, but I kind of liked it. It was really showing us what it's been like since Rachel disappeared all those years ago and what the family's been through. So of course the premise is that this woman, Rachel Price, disappeared 16 years ago. She was a young mother. She had a daughter who was like less than 2 years old, I think. They go out to the mall one day and then she disappears around a corner. None of the cameras catch where she went. She literally like evaporated into thin air, it seems. But then her daughter was found in her car like down the block. So her daughter reappeared in the car for some reason, but Rachel has been missing all this time. Obviously, that's been like a huge true crime case. People are interested in it because it's so mysterious. They never really found any leads of where Rachel went. And now it's years later and these people are doing this kind of updated documentary with the family. We're following Belle, aka Annabelle, which is the daughter who's now 18, and just seeing her perspective. And we knew that Rachel was gonna reappear and it's gonna be obviously this mystery of where she's been all these years. So she just reappeared. Maybe this was in the synopsis, but I was kind of surprised to see that she literally looks like exactly like she did when she left, in terms of she's in the same outfit. She clearly has not been somewhere like comfy, cozy, like living her life. It seems like she has been abducted somewhere, or she's literally been wandering the woods or something. Like she's all dirty. Her hair is ragged. Her clothes are ragged and have holes in them. Like it's very bizarre that it seems like she's literally just been like in the wild for all these years, or maybe abducted by someone. But I don't know. We'll have to get more into it because she literally just reappeared where I'm at. It's kind of impossible to have theories right now. I don't want to suspect the dad, Charlie. He's the obvious suspect as the husband because it's like always the husband did it. I don't want it to be him because obviously Belle doesn't want it to be him. The people I find most suspicious would probably be the people that are involved in making this documentary, because I feel like, what is with this timing? Like, why are you suddenly making this documentary now and then right away while you're filming Rachel reappears? Like, I feel like it's someone involved in the making of the documentary and they released her during this time too, so that the documentary could like blow up and this would be like a major news. So that is really the only theory I have. The other interesting point, the other kind of evidence we have is that Rachel seems to be kind of losing her mind before she disappeared, and now it kind of seems like Belle is experiencing the same thing. So maybe there's some like mental illness stuff that runs in the family. I don't know. Also, that doesn't seem great for like the dad. Like maybe he low-key like gaslights them into thinking they're forgetting things. I don't know. Again, I don't want to believe it's the dad, but yeah, that's all we know so far. But already Holly, I mean, I always enjoy her writing. I'm finding it really easy to get into. I'm very intrigued by this mystery as always. So let's see what else happens. Okay, checking in. I'm at page like 112, I think. I'm not liking how suspicious Belle is of Rachel. Like, I'm suspecting Charlie, the dad. Like, the fact that she trusts her dad so much and is suspicious of Rachel for lying. She thinks she was like lying about why she was gone and the whole situation. I'm like, maybe it's just because I personally would like trust women over men. But I'm just like, why is she so suspicious of her mom? Like, I don't know. It makes me think that, I don't know what it makes me think. I'm like overthinking it because I don't know if Holly is making Belle suspicious of Rachel for the twist to be that Rachel's innocent and it is going to be the dad who Belle really trusts that did something evil, or is it like a double twist and like it is gonna be Rachel is lying? Because that would be crazy if she actually was lying about where she's been. That would be interesting, but I don't want it to be that because I want them to have a nice like mother-daughter relationship. I don't know, I just feel like I want it to be the dad that's evil. Still hard to have any like suspects. I'm actually not really, I'm going away from my theory of thinking it could be the documentary people just because they seem kind of irrelevant. I feel like they haven't really shown us much suspicion. I'm actually suspecting maybe her grandfather could be involved, and maybe the reason she was finally let go is because now he has like dementia and isn't remembering. So I'm wondering if maybe Charlie found her or someone else found her and released her now that the grandpa has like gotten ill, but maybe it was the grandpa always keeping her. I don't know, but I am excited to find out. All right, I'm on page 162. I'm gonna head to bed now. But I have to say, I think this is like the least likable character Holly Jackson has ever written. Belle just really is irritating me for some reason. And it does seem like she's right about not trusting Rachel. But for some reason, her obsession with not trusting her is annoying me. I don't think I said in my previous update, but Rachel basically claims that she was locked up in a guy's basement for 16 years. And she never really saw his face. And he would just like watch her, but he didn't really like touch her or abuse her or anything. So that is crazy to be locked up for like 16 years alone, like in a dark basement. That would be really crazy. And I want to believe her. I think I was already saying that, like I want to be on Rachel's side, but yeah, it is really seeming like she is lying about where she really was, which makes sense. Like the story is obviously going to be more interesting if she's lying about it. So I think Belle is right about Rachel lying about where she was, but I do believe that it's going to be for a reason, and it's going to be to have protected Belle, because they made a point of showing how much Rachel loved Annabelle when she was a baby. Like she's her mother, like she really does love her. So I truly believe the twist is going to be that she disappeared or had to disappear for a reason to protect Belle, and I have no idea what that's going to be yet. I'm still suspicious of the dad, of course, that maybe she had to disappear, but she decided to come back for a reason to protect Belle, maybe from the dad. Like maybe now that Belle turned 18, she knew the dad would like do something to her. I have no idea. And then we do have a little love interest going on, which I like. I always love a cute little romance in YA mystery thrillers. I think it's fun, and obviously I loved Pip and Ravi in A Good Girl's Guide. So yeah, she has a little romance with one of the guys working on the documentary, Ash. And he seems pretty cool. So, I like kind of seeing their moments together. And now they are officially kind of investigating Rachel together and figuring out her lies. Because at first I was like, okay, the first couple slip-ups she said makes sense, but the fact that she knew Belle had this one bracelet, which she has since gotten rid of, like the only way for her to know she had that bracelet is if she was like watching her throughout her life, or was like looking at her Instagram throughout her life, because she posted a photo of it on Instagram during the time Rachel was missing. So it does really look like she's lying. So I fully am on the same page with that. I do believe that she's lying, but I'm sticking with my theory that is protect her. I think that's kind of obvious. I just really want them to get along. When she keeps taking her comfy chair, so you take the hard stool. Anything for my daughter. Hello, I am sitting at my boyfriend's desk for this update. He started working from home too, so now he has a little space in our bedroom to work. But anyways, I'm at page 239, chapter 30. I think I'm like over halfway, around halfway at this point. Something intriguing has happened where now Charlie, the dad, has gone missing. So it's like Rachel did a little reappearance act, and then now the dad has been the one to disappear, which I do feel bad for Belle a little bit, even though she's like very irritating. And I definitely look forward, like, please let me know your opinions on her as a character in the comments. Like, are you also getting annoyed with her? But she is just like so obsessed with her dad because she views him as the only one to never leave her throughout her life. So she is like obsessed with the fact that he's gone, and of course continues to villainize Rachel, thinking she's the reason that he's gone. And for a second I was almost believing it too, because we know there's that connection between Rachel and Mr. Tripp, the English teacher. I actually wondered if they were working together, and because Mr. Tripp has been off sick from school, that he was like pretending to be the dad. Like maybe they really did kill the dad and he was pretending to be the dad in Vermont, where he's having some like credit card activity. But I think someone could easily be faking that. So I honestly think the dad could be dead, because he was being very suspicious. Like, he has been weird since Rachel was back. He said he was working late, and Belle found out he was not at work. So we don't know where he's been all of these nights. And I really just want to get some answers. Like, I feel like my time over the last 3 days has been a little sporadic. Like, I haven't got to just sit and read large chunks of the book yet. And I really just want to, because I want to get more answers. Obviously, Rachel has been more and more suspicious in terms of the things Belle has found. I do think some of the clues Belle's found could be explained away, but I still am believing that Rachel was somewhere else than where she's saying. I am on board with that, but I still think it was because she had to run away. So we just recently found out that the reason she has this kind of connection with Mr. Tripp is that she borrowed money from him before she disappeared. So that definitely does seem like she was trying to run away from something. So I feel like I do believe that, and it's just a question of who was she trying to run away from. I think, you know, it could be Charlie, but that's kind of too obvious. I think it could be the grandpa, like I was saying before, and it could be Uncle Jeff, the dad's brother. I feel like something definitely is going on with that guy. All of the men are suspicious to me. And then obviously it's like, why did she come back now? And I think it has to be protecting Annabelle. I know I've said this before, but I guess I'm just having kind of the same theory going on. I feel like this isn't as fast-paced as some of Holly Jackson's other books, at least not as fast-paced as something like Five Survive, her last book, which was super fast-paced. I feel like this one's a little slower. You know, Belle's kind of figuring things out slowly. So maybe things will pick up in the second half, but let me know below what your theories were throughout the book, and kind of at the midway point, what were you thinking they were from the beginning? Here I am once again. We just hit a lot of action happening right now. So just want to quickly update you. We had, first of all, Philip Alvarez or whatever, who was the stalker obsessed with the case years ago and actually kidnapped Belle as a child. So he comes creeping around again. Not really shocking. Kind of makes sense that he would come back, but he breaks into the house, has an altercation with Belle. So that was kind of like exciting, like stressful. And he also reveals like more suspicious stuff regarding Charlie, the dad. Not shocking, we've had our eye on Charlie this whole time, but then Rachel comes and saves her, and it's like, I'm just waiting for more mother-daughter bonding. Like, I want them to get along so bad. I actually love Rachel, but she saves them, and then she says that Philip is the one that kidnapped her to the police, which is clearly a lie. And she does end up admitting that she just wanted him away from her daughter. But then Belle, she's finally kind of feeling this bond with Rachel, but then she finds her dad's wedding ring in Rachel's dresser, or in her side table. So then she is so mad. She thinks it's proof that Rachel did something to her dad, which she's been theorizing about. And she confronts Rachel finally. And Rachel admits that like she has been lying about where she's been, but she's not going to tell her. She's like, I need to protect you. I can't tell you. Obviously, it's clear that it's someone in their family that she wants to protect her like image of them, which again seems like it's Charlie, the dad, or the grandpa, who I've been saying, but obviously they're making it really look like the dad right now, which maybe that shows that it won't be by the end, but he has just been suspicious this whole time. And then now they're having this family dinner for the grandpa's birthday, and the uncle mentions something that helps Belle realize her dad is a huge gaslighter. And this story of like her peeing her pants when he left her in the car, he was always like, oh, it was 15 minutes, like you overreacted. But really, she found out it was hours that he left her in the car. her. So he's been like gaslighting her whole life, at least about that story. And who knows what else, because her and Rachel have both been having those memory problems. But I think it was literally just the dad like gaslighting them into obviously thinking they were forgetting things, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned earlier in this vlog. And I was suspicious of that from the start. So it seems a little too obvious for it to be the dad, but it's really looking like it's him. So I'm gonna go to bed now, but I am so excited to finish the book tomorrow because things are really ramping up. I love that Rachel is definitely gonna be the hero. I mean, as I've said, love her, want to see her and Belle like have a happy ending together, but very curious to see if it really is gonna be Charlie, the dad, or if we're gonna have some sort of final twist. Well, look who was right about Grandpa Price being the guilty one. Yeah, me. I was saying it. I know I've said it a couple times in the vlog. I've been suspecting him because I mean, the main thing was the timing that, oh, as soon as he has a stroke and having this dementia is when Rachel comes back. So basically, Belle puts some pieces together and figures out she needs to look in the books at her grandpa's house. And that is like something Rachel has been trying to look for. So she's like, I know the answers are going to be in my grandpa's books. So they start looking in the books and are finding messages hidden within the books that literally say, help me, it's Rachel Price. I'm in this truck. I'm trapped in this truck. Like, call the police. And not only did she just put it in one book, but she put it in like all of these books that Patrick Price had been clearly like giving her to read while being captured, which is crazy. And what's even crazier is that Belle was reading all of these books growing up and she just never noticed the messages. Like, that is just heartbreaking. And that would be so upsetting in reality to realize that you literally could have saved your mom if you would like notice the messages. But what I found kind of funny, I guess it was like Holly Jackson shouting out like some other authors, but like a lot of the books were very like new hip books that it was kind of funny to picture being in the grandpa's library. He had the Hunger Games, Behind Closed Doors, The Vanishing Half, The Guest List, Midnight Library, Six of Crows, Game of Thrones. Thought that was kind of funny. Gramps was having those books in his library, but the fact that some of those are recent shows that she really was captured for that whole time. So Belle's theories and my theories of like her actually lying about where she was, I guess was false. Like, I guess she really was captured all this time, but it wasn't by a random man in a basement. It was by literally the grandpa in the truck, which is crazy, but we still don't know why, like the why of it. But what I suspect, and I didn't mention this before, but I've been thinking it for a little while, is that it is suspicious how the grandma died, which would be Patrick's wife and like the mother of Charlie. She fell down the stairs is how she died. And this was like before Belle was born and everything, but the fact that it was such like a violent death and the fact that it's been mentioned but just kind of swept over by Belle, like I wonder if, you know, Patrick killed her. Patrick pushed her down the stairs, or if one of the boys pushed her down the stairs. That is my current theory, and that is kind of potentially the why of why they kidnapped Rachel. I'm thinking she found out about this, so they had to kidnap her is what I'm thinking. But that's kind of the thing we still have to figure out. And Belle decides to go there with Ash, like go to the scene of the crime, this truck, to kind of see if there's anything there, any more answers she can get. And then they find Charlie, the dad. So that kind of threw me for a loop. I guess I wasn't really thinking about it. But yeah, so that's where Charlie's been. So I assume it was Rachel that trapped him in there as like revenge. I just doubt that Patrick, the grandpa, was working alone. I feel like his boys, Charlie and Jeff, both did know about Rachel's abduction. So I think that was like her way of doing revenge. Or maybe I'm off base. I'm gonna have to find out in this next section. I feel like Charlie knew, or maybe he didn't know the whole time. I don't know. I'm excited to keep reading to find out all the details of this, but I do kind of like that I was right about the grandpa. Can't wait to keep reading. This is so freaking intense. I actually feel like tears in my eyes. Holy shit. But I also love what just happened. I finished the book. Oh my gosh, I feel like the last part of the book was so crazy. and I'm glad, because there was a moment where I thought maybe I wouldn't give it 5 stars, but I am gonna give it 5 stars. Okay, I left off when they found the dad in the truck. Basically from there we got all of the confirmations and reveals. So technically the grandpa did abduct Rachel, but it was because the dad like blackmailed him into doing it, because the dad wanted her dead and he was gonna make his own father kill her. Crazy. I was right about the grandma, the dead grandma, kind of being related, because that was the blackmail that he used to blackmail the grandpa, because the grandpa had actually killed his wife and pushed her down the stairs. This family was honestly really messed up. But the grandpa didn't want to kill Rachel, so he kept her locked up in the truck all those years without the dad knowing. So he was involved, but he also was surprised when she showed up again. So I kind of love that Holly Jackson found this way to kind of make multiple things be true. Like the dad was involved, but he also didn't know that she was, you know, alive all this time. But yeah, he was really terrible. And then the Uncle Jeff friggin' shows up. Then we had a reveal that really pushed it to 5 stars for me, and that was that Carter is the daughter of Rachel and Charlie and is actually Belle's sister. And I actually loved that twist. I didn't see it coming, but looking back, like I feel like you definitely could have figured it out. And I caught on to the fact that Rachel was pregnant when she had written "we" in one of her messages. Instead of "I'm trapped," it was "we are trapped." So I was starting to figure out that she was pregnant with a few different signs, but I did not connect the dots to Carter. I guess I just didn't like have time to think as I was reading. But yeah, we did know that Sherry and Jeff struggled to have a kid. So basically when Rachel was kidnapped, she was already pregnant. Another reason the grandpa didn't want to kill her, but when she had her baby, he literally took her baby and gave it to his other son. And so Carter grew up thinking she was Belle's cousin, but they were actually sisters. And so that is the twist that really sent it over the edge for me, where I was like, okay, I love this. This is pretty good. And then we got this whole action chase scene because Charlie got released from the cuffs by Jeff, and then they were chasing the women through the woods, and it was very exciting. And then the men end up going over the edge, and I was like, that's where I was like, thank God. Like I was very happy about that, because I was so scared during that scene. I was so scared Rachel was literally going to sacrifice herself for the daughters, like she already had been really throughout the book. But I was so glad. I was so glad that Rachel and the daughters made it out alive and could finally be a family together. Like, you guys saw me wanting that throughout the whole book. And that's what I thought was so good about this book, is that mother-daughter theme and the sister theme. Holly Jackson dedicated this to her sister, actually. And so I just really liked those elements of it. And, you know, it was making me tear up. It was like this heartwarming, like emotional impact at the end, which I always love. I love when a thriller can surprise me and thrill me, but then also have the like heartwarming stuff. So I just love that. And then though, and I don't want to spoil a different one of her books just in case you're watching this and haven't read one of her other books, but they do this thing with like covering up a crime, which I feel like she's kind of, you know, done before, and I don't know how much I love it. It starts to get like a little bit too far-fetched for me when these people are gonna like get rid of all the evidence. Like I kind of wanted everything to come out into the open for like the public to know, but I guess whatever. I guess it's best for the characters that they did, you know, hide all the evidence of what really happened, so they're able to just kind of live freely without everyone knowing this darkness. Whatever. I feel like that wasn't my favorite part, but I loved the rest of the book, so that was fine. The other thing that rubbed me the wrong way a little bit is what they did with Sherry at the end, like completely sending her away and cutting her out. Like, I know she was not the best mom to Carter and was obviously like shaming her for eating and like body shaming and pressuring her to do dance and stuff like that, but I didn't feel like she deserved similar treatment to, you know, the brothers. I mean, obviously she didn't get the same treatment, she didn't get killed, but just being forced away to like completely give up her life. I guess she knew she had stolen a baby, but I don't know if she knew it was Rachel's baby. I don't know. I guess you're supposed to assume she did know the details and went along with it. So I guess she deserves that in a way, but I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. Also that little, you know, kind of reveal that Rachel was involved in the documentary about her. She kind of influenced Ramsey, the director, to start it. I liked all these little connections. Holly Jackson is always just so good at connecting everything. Every little red herring gets an explanation, you know what I mean? She doesn't leave things hanging. So I think that's why she's just so great and why she has to be my favorite author. And she's coming to Toronto. She's coming to my city on tour. I think not next week, but the week after. So I'm actually going to see her. I think a signing's involved. I'm actually not totally clear if it's just like a Q&A that we get to watch or if we get to meet her, but I'll be bringing this along in case she is signing books, and I guess I'll just gush to her about how much I love her books. But yeah, another 5-star for me. I do kind of feel like maybe I've liked her other books more than this one. At least A Good Girl's Guide, the first one, and 5 Survive. But I think by the end of this, like, it was just a really nice feeling to see the 3 women get to be a family together. So it was one of the more heartwarming of her books, I guess. So that is the end of this vlog. Please leave me a comment if you read this book and let me know any of your theories that you had throughout and what you thought of it. And thank you so much for watching if you made it to the end here. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe for more reading vlogs like this and other bookish content. I will see you guys next time in my next video. Bye!